Before we start today's video, what is Vita Carnis? I don't know either. We about to find out today. So if y'all know where that's from, y'all know where that's from. Shout out my boy Mortal Marcus. Anyways, Vita Carnis, some of y'all was commenting down below what it was, all of that extra stuff. I didn't know what y'all want me to check out, but we did it anyways. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, bro. Let's find out what Vita Carnis is. About to say what's going on. Why they try to hoe? All right, this is the actual beginning. All right, this video talks about an imagery like gore, flashing lights, violence, death. Viewer discretion is advised. Federal law prevents. Okay, they're really going all in on this. Yeah, this is tough.
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years. Creatures big,
Bro, I'm in complete
and
darkness
small
right now.
have
Good.
found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments. From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found.
Wait, what was said? What was said? All right, I'm not going to rewind it no more. Let me just see right here. All right, y'all, lock in. Let's see what this is.
On planet Earth, life has thrived for millions of years.
True.
Creatures big and small have found ways to adapt and evolve to flourish in all types of environments.
True.
From barren wastes to lush forests, life can be found. Earth has homed these creatures since the dawn of life itself.
Facts.
Only until very recently, things have changed.
What?
New life forms have appeared all around the globe and completely changing the balance of nature and what we know about evolution itself.
What you mean?
That is why we, at National Living Meat Research, have been studying these new species, trying to help educate everyone about these creatures and their wondrous ways of life.
Who these creatures is?
First, what are these new life forms?
Please tell me.
Since their explosive arrival across the globe in 1931, there has been much debate on what these newcomers are, and where they came from. Are they extraterrestrials coming to invade Earth? Or are they demons who come from hell to purge humanity? What our scientists have discovered.
That's some pretty crazy comparisons. What the fuck?
No. The origins of these creatures are solely to Earth, miraculously out of nowhere. We don't know why or how, but one thing is for certain, Earth is now their home. What these creatures are is mysterious and still not well known today. But here is what we do know. These creatures are comprised mainly of muscle tissue, organs, and bones.
What?
They greatly resemble animals with no skin, or store-bought meat.
I was about to say like mammals.
Because of these characteristics, they have been named accordingly as Vita Carnis. The Carnis species consume decaying, organic matter, but their main diet is composed of raw meat, not including their Carnis relatives.
So they're not
the
cannibals?
Carnis only appear in places where there is an abundance of crawl, which leads to the first creature
crawl?
of the Carnis species. The crawl. The crawl is a growth of meaty tendrils that closely resemble the small intestine, the only difference being the dark red coloration. These tendrils grow in a similar pattern as vines, mold, or fungi. A primary stem structure is the host to divisions of other, smaller branches. In each tendril contains a variety of veins, arteries, and other similar organs used to transport nutrients absorbed from its surroundings. The ends of these tendrils are equipped with organelles used to absorb water and organic matter necessary for growth.
Oh, hell
The source
no.
of these organic materials is mainly found in dirt and soil on surrounding surfaces. Using
Yo, say swear, bro. Chat, hold on. This is why these analog horrors, they be yo. No bullshit. These analog horrors, they kind of like fuck with my mind a little bit because I've seen that before. You know what I'm saying? I've seen this before. I've seen this shit before. Like, this isn't like those pictures, like
soil on surrounding surfaces.
I know they dragging it. Like, they probably dragging it. Like, they probably just making it look like anything. But I really seen this before, bro. I've really seen shit like this before.
Using its root-like tendrils, it absorbs the material and processes it into usable energy. Although, the crawl also obtains energy through another means. Using a sophisticated form of photosynthesis. The dark pigmentation of the smaller branches is ideal for absorbing sunlight, and therefore allowing solar energy to fuel the crawl's growth. Because of its efficiency, it thrives in almost all types of environments, easily allowing it to spread across the world, and can be found pretty much anywhere. Its recent inclusion in the ecosystem has caused many major changes in nature's balance. One may assume that the crawl's presence may outcompete any other competitors, but due to its unique life cycle, where old branches fall off and decay into nutrient-rich compost, all forms of life seemingly flourish instead. The crawl's abundance grants plenty of nourishment to all animals, from plants feeding on the decayed crawl, herbivores thriving on increased plant population, and carnivores feeding on both.
So they're good for the earth
and are able to eat the.
So don't tell me the earth jacked these, bro. Please, bro, please. Because if they do, it's over with. It's over with.
Crawl as well.
They gonna take over as the they gonna take over as the most powerful species, bro. We're done. It's over.
The presence of all these animals leave behind waste, which will be broken down and consumed by the crawl, and the cycle begins again. This form of symbiosis leads to an environment where all populations thrive.
That's crazy.
Humanity also uses the crawl to our advantage. Because
Wait, we
of
do?
the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in.
Wait, yo, come on, bro. Wait. Wait, don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Yo, mods. Get right. Why did the video just do that? And what do you mean we thrive off it? We know about this?
Because of the supernatural rate of growth and its richness in nutrients, it has been sustainably cultivated into domestic farms. The crawl is harvested and processed into fertilizer, which greatly increases crop yield and quality. The crawl may also be used as a food source for humans, and reliably so. But due to its unkindly appearance and taste, it has yet to reach cuisine standards. The crawl also plays a very important role in the next creatures that we have been studying. Sometimes, in a crawl-populated environment, a node of meat may develop on one of the branches. This node will fall off and grow into a functioning organism and go to live on as an independent animal. What? This leads us to the upcoming species that we will be discussing. The first of these creatures are the trimmings. The trimmings. Trimmings are small animals that resemble skinned raccoons. They are commonly known to have a plump body, round head, small eyes, nose and ear holes, and an agape mouth. They are also equipped with a diversity of limbs. All individual trimmings are unique, each with a different body shape, number of limbs, and other characteristics.
Yeah.
One thing they all share in common is that they are made mostly of meat tissue, and are a maximum of 20 centimeters in length, no larger than a basketball.
Yo, that's fucking disgusting, bro.
Its life starts with its separation from the crawl. It will wonder to find anything that is edible and able to consume.
Oh, hell no.
Although it is an omnivore, being able to hunt meat and forage for plant matter, trimmings are almost entirely scavengers. Their diet consists of rotting plants and meat, including, but not limited to,
bro, I'm shooting that.
Fruits, vegetables, roots,
I'm dumping a couple clips on that.
Deceased animals. Although its appearance is unsightly, it is a cowardly creature, only fleeing, screeching, and hiding when threatened. Because of its lack of defensive traits, it lies near the bottom of the food chain, making it easily overpowered and picked off very regularly by predators.
Oh, they get picked off. Okay, so they suck.
Population would eventually die out.
So they suck. Okay.
This is not the case. The crawl constantly produces a large quantity of trimming nodes, keeping up their numbers. Naturally, trimmings can be found wherever there is abundant crawl. Trimmings grow at a decent pace, reaching maturity at around 7 months, having a maximum lifespan of 2 to 4 years. Although they are plentiful,
low-key keep one as a pet?
No proper way to implement trimmings into society. Their overabundance has even considered
No. Okay, no.
Trash bins and making excessive noise at night. Besides all of this, some people still keep trimmings as
I knew
pets.
I knew it. There was somebody. I knew it was gonna be somebody, bro. It's always that one weirdo, bro. What the
trimmings are a wondrous creature,
bro.
From their plentiful numbers to their skittish nature, they are truly a thing to behold. The next species on our list is the meat snake.
The meat snake? Sound like what I got.
Snake. The meat snake is a worm-like creature, made of a variety of types of meat, coated in a transparent, skin-like membrane. Its size varies during its lifespan, depending on how much it consumes.
They do look like daybreak
When it
about
first
these.
separates from the crawl, it is only a few centimeters in length. Eventually, it will reach an average length of 5 meters.
16
Although,
feet!
Under extreme conditions, like natural disasters, war, or plague, it can greatly surpass this length. The meat snake's diet consists entirely of dead animals or parts. A meat snake is incapable of consuming a healthy, living organism. The meat snake
So they
locates
only
its
eat
food by
decaying
using a tongue-like
shit?
organ covered in sensors to touch and
Oh, so
feel
they're
its
not a threat to
environment.
us. They're not gonna fuck
The
with us.
sensors catch particles
But do
of
they kill
decaying
fresh
meat,
humans
notifying
and
the
leave
meat
them
snake
there?
that there is
And then
food
let them
nearby.
rot and then they eat them? Yo, that's so convoluted.
This process shares many similarities to regular
Nah,
snakes,
bro.
hence the meat snake's name. Once it locates the corpse, the meat snake will open its jaw and swallow the entire body whole. Once the entire body is consumed, the meat snake's stomach will release a variety of chemicals. Some will break down soft tissue like skin
Yo,
and
buzzing.
the connection points between muscles. Others chemicals will then ferment and preserve the tissue to keep it from breaking down for as long as possible. After that, the remaining flesh and bones will move along the meat snake's tract and slowly be implemented into its own structure, extending the meat snake.
That is insane.
Unsatisfactory parts like
What the
skulls,
fuck?
pelvises, hair, and fingernails will be excreted.
It's shitting
Speaking of
fingernails?
skulls, the meat snake will take the skull from the consumed organism and use it as its own. Each meat snake has its own skull, each corresponding to what that one has consumed. During its
That's kinda
lifespan,
cool.
It will swap or replace these skulls if needed.
Niggas got character creation.
A meat snake's lifespan depends
What the
entirely on
fuck?
how much it consumes. The longest one has lived for was 28 years. The meat snake
One had
has
a
no
human
predators
skull,
and is
yeah.
immune to disease due to its preserving chemicals. The only significant ways a meat snake can die is through starvation, burning, or complete destruction of the meat snake's membrane coating. Interestingly, the
Oh,
meat snake is the
no.
only member of the Carnis family that is able to reproduce. When a meat snake reaches an excessive size, and is in the conditions to do so, it will commence mitosis, splitting itself in
What?
two. Then the now two
Mitosis?
meat snakes will go on their separate ways and live on as two distinct organisms.
Yeah, with the
Meat snakes
different
can only be
skulls.
found in moderate temperature climates, not too hot, not too cold. Their population depends entirely on the amount of corpses available. Where there is death, there are meat snakes. Humanity will use them to our advantage. Meat snakes are a very efficient and clean way of disposing of any meat products. The preserving fluid within the meat snake's body disinfects the carrion, preventing the spread of disease. Humans use meat snakes in butcher shops as a waste bin, dispose roadkill, within war on the battlefield to dispose of
What?
festering bodies and parts, and within zoos to dispose of deceased animals. They are extremely tame, not caring if any creature is around them, only acting defensively when it is within consuming a meal. This means they are very easy to tame. Overall, meat snakes are a marvelous creature with a very interesting way of
Marvelous?
sustaining itself. It
Marvelous.
is an amazing experience to encounter one, as long as you don't mind the smell. Our next creature is the mimic.
The mimic?
The mimic. The mimic is a bipedal creature with uncanny similarities to
Bro, that's an
humanoid
SCP,
anatomy.
no?
They greatly resemble humans without skin, with added exaggerated features. These features include extended finger length, longer limbs, bulging, empty eyes, and their most prominent feature, a wide, teeth-filled smile. Although it resembles a happy face, this is due to coincidence, and is only how their facial structure is shaped.
Maniacal,
The mimic
dude.
contains much more teeth than humans, and their teeth is comprised almost entirely of incisors, with some canine and premolars in the back. This tooth composition is ideal for biting down onto meat and swallowing chunks whole. A mature mimic's diet is comprised entirely of human flesh.
What you? Come on, tighten up, bro. Tighten up, tighten up. What is this?
Because of this, they are found solely around human-populated areas. The mimic's life cycle is made of 3 stages. In the first stage, a young mimic separates from the crawl. They closely resemble their trimming relatives, but are thin, sleek, and only have 4 appendages. In this stage, the young mimic will hunt small animals, moving on to larger and larger as they grow. Once large enough, it will begin metamorphosis into the next stage of life. Once fully transformed, it will resemble the description mentioned in the beginning. Its hunting style changes and becomes much more complicated. It now stalks and feeds only on humans. It will locate human-populated area and begin its search for an easy target. To blend in, it may use objects to conceal itself. These include clothing, mannequins, and furniture. Once a target has been found, the mimic will observe its prey and learn its routine and when it is most vulnerable. This is typically when the human is asleep at night. Once the prey is within position, the mimic will advance silently until it is close enough. The mimic will then execute and immediately begin consumption. Once the mimic has had its fill, it will leave the scene, a fair distance away from the human population, and begin to digest its meal. Although, in the case that a human is awake, a mimic will use a variety of sounds to either lure or startle prey into
bro,
come
on.
Once a human is in place, it will swiftly attack and kill the helpless target.
Chill out. What is this? What is this? Niggas said Vita Carnis found footage. And then you just hear blame yourself. Blame yourself. Oh shit. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over with. It's over with. Ugh. Hello? Oh, yo, no, Dad.
The next stage of the mimic's life cycle has 2 potential morphs it may develop into. If a mimic has a consistent supply of food, it will develop more human-like features. It will grow skin, hair, and by the end will look nearly identical to a human being. It now can blend entirely into civilization
For real?
and lure other humans more effectively. The second type of morph happens when a mimic receives an overabundance of food. It will grow into a larger, more evolved hunter. Its proportions will increase in length, and its humanoid features will fade away. It grows a thick, dark coating of a flexible skin, which is highly durable, and increases in strength the more the elder mimic consumes. This excludes the face, which is now coated in a pale pink skin. The mimic's teeth have also moved deeper into the mimic's throat, leaving its mouth a toothless grin. It uses the dark hue of its skin to hide seamlessly within a dark environment. Its skills have also been heightened. This makes an elder mimic one of the most efficient predators on the planet. Because of the obvious threat this poses on humanity, nations around the world have released instructions on how to be able to fend for yourself in a mimic encounter.
I don't got
Here are the
those.
instructions.
1. Avoid going out alone if your location is known to have mimics, or there have been mimic sightings. 2.
True.
If you encounter a stationary mimic, seemingly unfazed by your presence, quietly leave the location and alert your local authorities. 3. If pursued by a mimic, get yourself into a position where you are able to flee. Mimics will rarely attack if a person has a clear escape route. 4. In the event that you have been cornered by a mimic, roll into the fetal position, protecting your neck, face, and vital organs from attack. Make as much noise as you can to alert any other people. 5.
What is that going
If
to
you
do?
have a weapon,
What is that?
do not use it. A mimic is fairly resilient, and any strikes or shots on a mimic is not effective enough to bring it down in time. Instead, use it as a barrier between you and the mimic to block any attacks.
So just play
6.
defense?
In
Okay.
a situation where a mimic is hunting in the immediate area and is not aware of your position, hide somewhere low, like under a bed or behind other furniture. A mimic will not linger too long to search for prey, and will move on.
Be safe, and avoid any encounters with a mimic at all costs. Next up, the Harvester. The Harvester. The Harvester is a large, bulbous mass, with a large amount of tendrils spreading from the base. The bulb measures around 3 meters in height and 2 meters in diameter. The tendrils, on the other hand, can extend up to 150 meters in diameter horizontally. The harvester is a specialized form of crawl that grows in a unique and deadly way. A harvester is created when a node that will grow into a harvester, instead of separating,
Nah, these are all the parts in
continues
one,
to
I'm pretty
grow.
sure.
Eventually, it will grow tendrils of its own. It uses the energy provided by its mother branch and expands its reach further. Its tendrils, hidden just below the surface of the ground. The harvester is equipped with 2 types of specialized tendrils. The first type is bulky and flat. They lie the closest to the surface. These branches are lined on each length of the tendril with spines, extending in the shape of a bear trap. On each side of the branch, those particular spines have a vein that feed into them, that pump 2 types of venom. On one side, the spines can inject a neurotoxin, which will attack the nervous system of whomever it is injected into, causing sudden paralysis.
So you just got to get eaten by
The
it?
other side can inject
Nah.
an anticoagulant, which when injected, prevents blood cells from clotting. Whenever a large animal moves across the area armed with these tendrils, the branches will clamp onto the animal and thrash violently.
Yo.
Once the prey has been injected with both venoms, the tendrils will rest and the prey will immediately collapse. The animal will be unable to move due to the paralysis, and the wounds caused by the thrashing spines will not stop bleeding. All the prey can do is lie patiently, until succumbing to blood
Wow.
loss. Once the prey has bled out, the second type of tendrils come in. They lie below the spine equipped once. These branches are thick, but very sturdy. They share similar anatomy to the small branches of the crawl, equipped with organelle that absorbs nutrients. These tendrils sense the blood, and move their way to the surface and begin to absorb the vital fluid. Once the blood has been consumed, the tendrils will wrap around the body and begin to shuffle downwards. This movement loosens the soil and slowly pull the body underground. Once secure,
So you wouldn't even
the
know,
tendrils
bro.
will continue to feed until there is nothing but scraps. The nourishment absorbed by the tendrils will be sucked back into the main bulb of the harvester. This bulb houses all the vital organs and the venom glands that pump into the spines. The nutrients are then converted into usable energy. The remains underground decompose, providing a rich soil, causing very prominent plant growth, which then attracts more animals.
Nigga said a rich soil, bro.
A strange behavior the harvester displays is its choice of diet. The spines will only activate on larger animals, allowing smaller ones to pass by unaffected. The spines will also not activate on some species of bird. There are a couple theories as to why this happens. 1. It could be that attacking smaller animals would cost too much energy for what they get in return, making it not worth the time. Another could be that smaller animals may attract larger animals or predators, allowing a safe place where prey may thrive and lure more predators. It truly is astonishing. Although it is a spectacular creature, it is also very dangerous. The harvester is decently rare, only populating sparse areas in the northern hemisphere and woodland forests.
Are you kidding me?
If you are stung by a harvester, there will be no way of helping you, being that there is no cure, and fatality is 100% positive.
Yo, chill out, bro. Come on.
The best
Tighten
thing
up,
you can
tighten
do
up,
is
tighten
avoid
up.
encountering a harvester in the first place. If you are hiking, take note of any warnings or signs saying that there are harvesters around. If you also notice an abundance of lush, ground-dwelling plants in a forested area, and there are no signs of wildlife, this is suspicious and you should leave the area, staying close to the base of large trees or rocks. If you find yourself in the middle of a harvester ground, do not panic. Sudden movements may activate the tendrils and will inject you. Although a harvester is rather forgiving, do not risk any skittish movements. Remain calm. If you have any objects with considerable heft, like coats, backpacks, or full water bottles, gently take that object and lightly toss it towards the bulb, and away from your escape route. This will activate the spines on where the object lands, distracting the bulb for a moment. You will then slowly begin to do wide shuffles away from the bulb. If possible, throw another object when you are certain you are a fair enough distance away, just to be safe. Continue until you are completely sure you are out of harm's way. You may come out unscathed, but don't be too obnoxious, or you will be a harvester's next meal. Next up is
Makes
the
sense.
host. The host of influence.
Well, I feel like it's gonna get worse than worse.
The host of influence, more commonly referred to as the host, has its name derived from a host who invites guests to an event. Not to be confused with a host, a harborer of parasites or disease. The host is a semi-humanoid looking organism. It has the structure of a head, torso, and arms. Other than this, it shares no other characteristics. The lower half of the host is comprised of a mass of fibrous tissue and tendrils that burrow into the ground to hold the host in place. Instead of skin, the host is covered in muscular tissue fibers, tendons, and veins. In some parts of the body are covered in a meaty plate, used to cover any large exposed areas, but allowing movement.
I'd beat the shit out of that. Yeah.
The
No
host
bad.
has a smooth surface where the face should be, attached to a crooked neck, which houses a slit in the front used for feeding. On the host's back is a mound of pores. Protruding from these pores are hollow,
What makes it so
hair-like
dangerous, though?
structures, extending outwards. These hairs are barrels that release spores produced within host's body by being fired into the air. These spores are hazardous, so keep clear of them at all costs.
Yo.
Luckily, the host is rare, only found in North America.
Nigga.
Obtaining info about the host is a very risky and daunting task. This is because of their rarity and of how dangerous it is to be up close to one. The spores released by a host is very dangerous when inhaled. A host will release a cloud of spores into the air, which will be picked up by wind and carried great distances. If an organism inhales the spores, the particles will find their way into the organism's brain and infect them. An infected organism will show no symptoms of infection right away, but a couple hours after infection the infected organism's behavior and thought process will change. The first symptoms that appear are restlessness, sluggish movement, numbness of joints, and lack of coordination. Then more serious symptoms appear over time. These include dizziness, migraines, impaired speech, and trembles. If you, or someone you know show these symptoms, contact poison control or emergency services. After a total of 6 to 7 hours after infection, the organism will cease all activities they were previously doing and begin to walk. The direction the infected will walk is towards the host whose spores have been inhaled by the infected individual. If the infected makes their way to the host, they will kneel down in front of it,
Yo.
expose their vital organs,
Yo.
and the host will promptly gut and remove those organs. The host will consume them and discard the leftover scraps. However, if an infected organism doesn't reach the host within a 36-hour span or is treated for their infection, the effects will wear off and return back to normal.
Okay, that's not too
If a host
terrible.
is unable to find prey or doesn't like its current location, it will unroot itself and move to a new
They
location.
can move?
Their scarce numbers and the hazard of being around one makes getting info about the host very daunting. All you need to currently know is that the host is extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. Next, the monoliths. The monoliths.
Alright, what was that? I'm sorry, that one was too blatant for me not to pause. Come on. There we go. Alright. Although one day the critters found the cave while searching for food, they found the prince in trance in his sleep. The critters were so awestruck and enchanted by the prince's magic. What does that even mean? This backrooms lore? Nah, this is Vita Carnis. So it's a new, well, not new, but it's another analog horror that we've never checked out before. Think about it, Cozy. Oh, okay. So this is a quote for the host.
The monoliths.
Not the monolith. The monolith's new.
The monolith is a very new creature, only showing up in June of 1972, in the area of... There are only 7 monoliths, all of them located in a circular position, 1.5 kilometers in diameter. This ring of monoliths surrounds...
Bro, come on.
The monolith is a Titanic-sized being, measuring roughly 120 meters in height. Each monolith has 2 trunk legs that are firmly embedded underground. The legs connect to a torso. The creature itself is made of hundreds of thousands of meaty strands, tightly woven together to form the structure.
Yeah.
These strands end at the
I can't
neck,
believe I ain't see that one
fusing into
before.
a solid mass of hardened flesh in the shape of an upside-down triangle, with a hole in its center. On each side of the monolith where arms would be, there are dozens of long, rope-like appendages. These reach just barely to the ground. At the creature's feet, the strands go deep into the earth and extend horizontally a decent distance away. What the monoliths do is simply stand and do nothing. The only activity documented that the monoliths have done was in...
Bro, oh my god.
During this period, they were extremely aggressive.
Down.
When the group of...
Yo, no. They're killing me, bro. No.
were making their way to the city. The monolith that they had passes roared a deep bellow and swung its appendages at the team, completely wiping them out. When military vehicles were dispatched, once they got close enough to top the monolith, it roared another call, this time releasing an EMP blast.
Damn, an EMP?
knocking the vehicles out in the vicinity. Finally, long-distance rockets were fired and struck the creature.
Boy, that shit about fake as hell, boy.
Although damaged, it regenerated at great speed and resumed its stance unscathed. Eventually, the area has been fenced off and is now restricted to all. Ever since, the monolith stands silently, now only a grand spectacle of awe and mystery, only adding more questions to these meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is...
Hello? Okay, well clearly they want me to see that one. Hold on, go back before we learn about the singularity. Okay, hold on. Wait, I want to read that.
These meat beings. And finally, the last creature on this list is...
It's not meant for me to read. No way. I refuse.
The singularity is an orb comprised of a dark-colored mineral with hints of luminous colors within its core. The singularity is estimated to be 1 meter in diameter. The orb has several
boundless and majestic world that exists today, it's as extraordinary to have such strange and mysterious beings appear all around us. Thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration and discovery of the lives of these living meat creatures.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. I liked it. It's pretty good. Well, just a lot. After learning about it, I definitely do want to learn a little bit more, like where does it go from here? Learning more about the singularity. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. That was Vita Carnis. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it over there on the channel. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment. And let me know where to go from here or what I should watch next, bro. I appreciate you guys. See you next one. Peace out.